go ahead and do it.
Without further ado, we're going to jump into game 1 here. We've got Slayer's Gonzi spawning as our blue Terran in the top left-hand corner of Antigua Shipyard. And we have his opponent, Diagonal Cross Spawn, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. That's going to be our yellow Terran, Empire.Kas.
Yeah, and as we said before, Empire.Kas is competing now, is basically stepping up to try to take out Gonzi, who currently has the crown, fresh after defeating Liquid Chef. And we'll have to see if Gonzi can continue to hold on, or if this European Terran is going to be able to take him out. Now, as you said before, it is Antigua Shipyard with cross spawn. So given that it's Terran versus Terran, I'm just going to surmise a little bit here. I think we're going to see a long one here.
Well, Kas is no slouch in TVT, and a lot of people have called him a little bit of an online all-star. He hasn't really posted any results from LAN events, but he wins a lot of online tournaments. He does very well.
Yeah.
Or just gets very far in a lot of online tournaments. So, and this is played online, so, you know, Kas, when he's in his comfort zone, when he's at home, when he's not at LAN, he plays very, very well, and his TVT is definitely one of his better matchups, so I'm really excited to see him go head-to-head with Gonzi.
Well, I gotta say, man, I'm really excited to have you co-casting with me, as always, especially here, because it is a Terran versus Terran, and that's your specialty, because you are a Terran professional player, and that's why we kind of have you on board. Right. So I'm down to get your insights on this matchup. Oh, we actually have a proxy barracks being thrown up by Gonzi right now.
Wow.
So tell me a little bit about this pain user.
Well, I mean, he's proxied his first racks.
Sorry, wait, please.
Anytime somebody talks to you, just automatically assume that there's cheese coming. But
well, I think there's a little lag here, so that's probably why.
It looks like Kas's racks is actually ahead of Gonzi's, strangely enough. And Gonzi just now getting his gas up. So both players just right around the same time mark for everything. But Gonzi has proxied this rack, so we'll just have to see what he chooses to do with this racks.
Yeah, well, you were telling me a little bit before the series started.
Oh,
a tech lab.
Marauders.
Well, you were telling me a little bit before the series started that nowadays Terran versus Terran actually features a little bit of cheese. I mean, you're going to see proxy factories, you're going to see proxy barracks, of course, quite a often amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen in the GSL some players have busted out some pretty interesting builds, like Reactor on the racks and then a quick tech lab on the factory, having both proxied, just rushing for siege tanks, and then using a second racks to actually float and give sight of the ramp, and then use siege tanks to work your way into the natural. If they go for a quick expand, it works out great. And then we saw Polt actually try and do a Thor rush, bring us back to the olden days. Do a Thor rush against MVP, but MVP ended up scouting it with his first 2 Marines and killing the SCV as it built the armory. So he had to cancel the armory. And oh, Kas is gonna fully wall here, so that's really not good for Gonzi. That full wall is gonna shut things down pretty hard. Although he might be able to pick off those depots pretty effectively from the low ground. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, Marauders are pretty good against buildings. They do quite a bit of damage. I mean, look at this right here. They do versus armor 20. So that's quite a bit of damage for these supply depots to take, and we'll see if Gonzi decides to take down the depots. Of course, he will have to if he wants to break through the front door, and it looks like he's going to kill off an SCV right there, and now he's starting to work. Actually, Kas lowering the supply depot, almost like, hey, come on in and join me for the party I have going on inside my main.
Yeah, well, he does pull a few workers, and he has more than enough Marines, I feel, to take care of these Marauders. He's just going to have to play it safe and play it smart. He's getting a bunker now. He should make his first tank pretty soon.
Yeah, well, he's actually going for starport as well, so we'll see what he decides to get out of that starport. Of course, a quick Banshee would not be out of the question. It looks like he's already got the tech lab down, so he's going to swap that onto the tech lab and get a Banshee on. Banshee, of course, obviously very good against Marauders, because Marauders can't shoot air. This one, SCV, kind of out in the loss, will go down. And a bunker going up for Kas. You know, Kas actually looks like he's going to be in a really good position, because this bunker, along with some repairing SCVs, should be able to hold off the Marauder pressure. And then the Banshee that comes out should be able to crush the Marauders and push Gonzi all the way back home.
You know, he might just send the Banshee straight to Gonzi's main.
That's quite true.
And just leave the Marauders here, because they're really not that big of a threat right now that he has that bunker up. And he's trying to use that racks to spot the high ground. Might pick off one of these depots here, and it looks like that's actually exactly what he's going to do. Try and supply block Kas. He will get that first depot, and he does supply block him, so he will not be able to make any additional units. He's also going to get that second depot on the bottom there.
Well, not enough. Kas repairs it, and he's going to reveal his Banshee here on the Marauders. But at the very least, he will crush all 4 Marauders, it looks like, if he continues to train this Banshee on those guys. Quite a few of them in the orange and red, but he's actually going after the fully health one, so he's not actually focus firing. There he goes. Picks off the Marauder that was in the red, picks off his second Marauder as well. All 3 of these Marauders will probably go down. Gonzi has no chance against that, and, Kas looking pretty good here.
Yeah, he's looking pretty solid. He's got a great spot in this game. He needs to get a few depots up. He has a command center coming as well, so that'll boost up his supply. And he's going to get a Viking out, Gonzi is, just in time to deal with these Banshees.
Oh, wow.
Or this Banshee, rather.
Yeah, I didn't
And
quite...
there's the intercept right there.
Yeah, there's no cloak on this Banshee, so the Banshee really has no hope. He tries to do a little bit of a juke maneuver there to the right, but unfortunately Viking's a little bit longer range and a little bit faster, so that Banshee will go down. But, it did kill off 4 Marauders, so it kind of justified its cost. And it looks like he's even going to kill off the barracks as well.
Ooh, and Gonzi switching into 2 Raxes now. So he's going back into Bio, oddly enough. Generally, you will see players follow up that Proxy Marauder with Mech. Just because, they're probably going to lose the Tech Lab and they're probably going to lose the Rax. So usually they add a few additional factories, but...
You know what this add-on reminds me of? Did you remember that game with TLO where he stole somebody's add-on at MLG?
I think it was Boxer.
Yeah, that was a really, really crazy game. I think it was against Boxer as well. And, it just shows there's a lot of... I don't know if he really needs to kill it. He could actually use it if he wanted to.
Yeah, he could, at some point.
But it is, of course, not like Brood War. When you lift off and you leave an add-on, it became neutral. In StarCraft 2, it actually retains its color, so your forces will auto a target and kill it.
Yeah. Does it give you vision? Does it give Gonzi vision?
Well, that's a good question. Maybe we'll have to check that next time. It is a best of 9 TVT, so I'm sure we'll have more opportunities.
We may indeed. Now Gonzi has followed this up with 3 tanks, and he's just sitting pretty back at his natural.
Yeah,
Siege mode is done.
3 tanks. We talk about this all the time. Paying user tanks are the X factor in Terran versus Terran. They're really the unit that you've got to have in almost every type of engagement. And even in Brood War, this held true. You just got to have a ton of tanks out there in order to really start the trench warfares, get a bunch of that artillery fire on your side. And, Kas doesn't really have a single tank at all. In fact, just the first tank starting right now.
Yeah, he's supply blocked real hard right now.
Uh-oh. And he has Vikings coming in.
He had quite a bit of money saved up there for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why he's supply blocked right now. He actually needs to clear that out, but both players are on 2 bases for now. The Vikings are going to go ahead and land behind the main of Kas. Going to pick off a couple of SCVs. Look like they're going to get 8 SCVs. Wow, that's pretty
9,
effective.
10.
Wow.
Might
Who
get a
said
depot, too.
Vikings aren't good at harassing?
That was actually really nice.
Yeah, they're going to kill off a Marine. I mean, hey, they can lift off and pick off the Viking and the Raven here. That was really risky by Kas to bring the Raven back, but it looks like he's got Marines here to defend against that.
I'm surprised he didn't actually go for that Viking. He had it within one volley from 3 Vikings. Could have taken that out. And he could have killed the Raven, maybe. Not if he used those auto turrets and the Marines to screen for his units, though.
And it looks like, Gonzi pushing out here with some siege tanks. Of course, he has the tank advantage. There's only 1 tank out on the field just now joining the fray from Kas. And it looks like Gonzi going to be setting up a pseudo-contain here. And of course, in Terran versus Terran, you can do this. You can start to shell out buildings at the perimeter of the main. And it looks like an add-on's going to go down. A factory is burning in the skies right now. The barracks also going to start burning as well. This is not good for Empire.Kas.
Oh, and his Raven gets picked off, as will the Viking. Gonzi coming up huge right here, sieging all the production, forcing all of the add-ons to be lifted off, and this is just terrible for Kas. He's in a lot of trouble right here.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Pain User. His buildings are on fire right now. He's got to dispatch SCVs to kind of, as a firefighter, to put it out right now. But hey, he might be able to get a stim and pick off all these tanks. Can he do it?
I don't think so.
It's too many tanks. Gonzi's got 6 of them here, man.
And GG is called immediately.